All right, hey everybody. So this will be our last full week, and this week we're going to work on quadratics, okay? And just basically talking about the direction of a quadratic and the vertex of a quadratic and the axis of symmetry. And you'll see as we go through all of these things why these are important. But today we're just going to be talking about the direction. And when we talk about a quadratic, we're talking about a function that when you graph it, looks like this. So all those things where you guys were factoring, quadratics will do these two things. They'll either open up or they'll open down, okay? Now quadratics are written like this. Okay. Basically, you at least need this portion to have a quadratic. You have to at least have y equals ax squared or y equals x squared. Another way you might see them are this way. F of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. For this week, just for our introduction into quadratics, just to get you guys a good base going forward, all of the problems that you're going to see will be in this form. Okay, so for the first day's lesson, for Tuesday's lesson, all you're going to tell me on the Google form is you will either say whether the function opens up or it opens down. Okay, up or down is all you're going to type in the answer boxes for the 8 problems. And like it says on the document, you're going to use these same 8 problems each day. Okay, on Tuesday, you're going to identify the direction. On Wednesday, you're going to identify the axis of symmetry. And on Thursday, you're going to identify the vertex. So these same 4 problems I'm going to use for examples will be the same on Tuesday's video, Wednesday's video, and Thursday's video. Okay, so again, I'm going to erase this bottom one because like I said, you're just going to see them written this top way. So the first thing to do when you're identifying the direction is to make sure that whatever function you're given is written in this form. So in the first example, we're given this. Okay. This is written in the correct form, the correct order. So your direction is determined by your a value. So if your a value is positive, if you have a positive a value, the function's going to open upward. I kind of remember positive a value, positive. Sometimes you smile when you get positive news, so the function opens up. If a is negative, your function's going to open down. Sometimes, again, if you get bad news or negative news, you're sad, so you tend to frown, and this goes down. So, in the first example, if you are given this as problem 1, y equals x squared plus 2x plus 3, and you are asked, does the function open up or down? Your answer would be up, and that's all you would type in the box. Okay? All right, let's look at our next example. Example 2, y equals negative 1/2 x squared minus 2x plus 2. Okay, is it written in the correct form? It is. Our a value in this case is negative 1/2. So since it's a negative, you guys would write that this function opens down. Okay, and that means it's also going to have what's called a maximum value, because if your function opens down like that, if we were to graph it on the coordinate plane, it has a maximum value. All the other values are less than that point, where that point turns. But that's stuff that you'll go into later. Today, like I said, we're just worrying about direction. All right. All right, so number 3, y equals x squared plus 4x. Now remember, back at the beginning of the video, I told you guys, you at least need this part to have a function. We at least need this quadratic portion, okay, which we do. We've got this right here. So y equals x squared plus 4x. In this case, a, which would be right there, is 1. It's positive, so you guys would say that this function would open up. And this one would have a minimum value, because if it opens upward, here's the low point. All the other values for y, for your output, are going to be more than that low point. Okay? So if it opens up, remember it's going to have a minimum value. Okay? And if it opens down, it has what's called a maximum value. All right? So the last example for this, for identifying which direction your function is going to open, is y equals negative x squared plus 4x minus 5. Okay, in this case, A is -1, and since we have negative, it opens down, and it also has a maximum value. Okay, so if it just says which direction does the function open, you'd say up or down. If I do ask, does it have a maximum or minimum value, you would answer accordingly. So remember, if it opens up, that means A is positive, opens down, A is negative. If it opens up, it has a minimum value. And if it opens down, it has a maximum value. Okay? All right, so get that work done today. And like I said, I'm going to have a video for axis of symmetry that uses those same 4 problems and goes through how we find that. Okay, keep working. Email me if you guys have questions.